Greetings, listeners. I'm Z Man, your host. Here we bring you stories, lessons, and truths that light the way. Shalom and hi to everybody listening to the Facts of Light podcast with your co host, Zadak Malak, or Z Man for short. I am just here, just giving you guys some very informative information, just brief right now. And so basically, we're going to just get into a little bit of the meaning of words. Words are very important, words are very helpful, and it creates sentences, it creates meaning to what the person is trying to communicate to the other person listening. And so words are very important. And so right now we'll be just going over scriptures, Bible related topics related to the word. Okay. So let us begin here. There are different words in the Bible that have a lot of in depth meaning. And so, with one of them, we could just start off by love. Now, what is love? We already know that love in scripture, love is what you know as God, or I like to call him by his name, Yah. But also, the word love in Hebrew or Paleo Hebrew, I would just say first, Paleo Hebrew, it means ahab. In the modern Aramaic Hebrew, it is ahav. In Strong's H 158, you can find that. And another term for it is aheb in the modern Hebrew, Aramaic Hebrew, and it is in Strong's H 157. Strong's H 158 means to have affection, while Strong's H 157 means beloved, like friend. Okay. So ahab means affection, aheb means beloved, like friend. The letter, now let's break down the letters. Okay. Let's get it going. Okay. The letter all, the all, which is the first letter in the Paleo Hebrew alphabet, the Albath, or the Aleph Bet, which is Aleph, and it's Yah, or creator, God, or should I say his real name, Yah, being love. But let's break it down more in depth because the letters have important significance to it. The letter Al, which is the first letter in the Paleo alphabet, or the, should I say, Albath, or the Aleph Bet, is the Al, or Aleph, means Yah, creator, strength, leader, sovereign, king. The gematria numerology is one, which represents unity, wholeness, and primacy of Yah and his family being one. You can find this in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4, and John chapter 7, verse 21, John chapter 10, verse 30, and Acts chapter 2, verse 1. Also, it is the first or beginning. Okay. That is what it means. And that's what, of course, in scripture it says that he is the beginning and the end, the first and the last, right? But he's saying that he's the all, which is the beginning, right? And then the thu would be considered the last or the end, which is the end of the Paleo Hebrew Aleph Bet, Al Ba alphabet letter. Okay. So there are two yods and one vav in the Aramaic version of this letter, which adds up to 26, a number that represents Yah himself. 26. Very interesting. So let's keep going. The second letter, the letter, the letter Ha, reveal, revelation of self in the act of giving oneself to another. This can be found in Genesis chapter 47, verse 23 through 24. Behold, looks, give attention to grace, mercy, or kindness. Okay. Spirit, breath. Okay. Wind. It is a letter that represents the spirit of Yah. The, this letter is also contained in his name. Its gematria numerology is number 5, which is equated to grace. This letter is also in the word give in Strong's H 3051. Now, the last letter, very important, is the Ba, or the Ba, and that is house, dwelling, temple, tabernacle, tent, body, your body. The gematria numerology is number 2. This is a representation of duality. This is said to symbolize that there are two parts to Torah, which are the 5 books, first books in the Bible, the written Torah and the oral Torah. The letter might function as a preposition meaning in, at, or with. In is also the first letter in the first chapter in the book of Genesis 1 and 1. So the ba or the bath has to deal with being within. Is the might it functions as a preposition meaning in or to go in, at, or with. And that's found in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. There's a correlation to habitation and creation. Okay. So let's all put these letters together. So you got the all, you got the ha, and you got the ba. Okay, aha. And when you put it together, the meaning of these words, just based off the definition of each single letter that I gave to you, is let's make it come together. Ready? Yah breathes or looks after his creation. I'll repeat that. Yah breathes or looks after his creation. I got a second definition out of this. You guys ready? Yah gives himself to his creation. That's love, which is also John 3:16. For Yah so loved the world that he what? Gave his only begotten son. Right? Hey, how about that? Now, let's check it out. Check it down to the next definition or the next meaning and interpretation I got out of this, right? Yah gives attention to his creation. That's cool because he does. He notices us. He pays attention. He pays attention. Now let's go to the next meaning of it. The leader, man or husband, is merciful or kind to his body, which is in Ephesians 5:23, verse 23 through 28. That's described as his wife. So the husband is merciful and kind to his wife. How about that? Or you could say the leader, man, looks after his body or wife, right? So the leader looks after his body, or the husband looks after his wife. Or you could say the leader, like even in a job context, supervisor, CEO, if he really loves his employees, what will he do? He will look after them. He will notice them, pay attention to them, and look out for their well being instead of for their detriment, like firing them, especially at a time like this where jobs are scarce and seems like the economy is getting worse and, you know, yeah, just the whole nine. So let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. I got more. I got more. The leader. I like this one. The leader or man or husband, right, gives to his body. He gives to his body. The leader gives to his body. The leader, boss, will give to his employees. He will give to employees to look out for them, right? To make them better. You can look at it like a man will give to his people. He will give back to his community to edify, to help them prosper, to be better than what they were before. Or you can look at it as the husband gives to his wife, right? And cool thing about it is, not just looking at it as a materialistic thing like give, buying her, pimping her out with diamond rings, and, gold chains or whatever. But even in a sexual context, what happens sexually in a sexual function, right? So giving, that's part of what it is. Even in a sexual context, the man gives and the woman what receives. And when she receives out of that sexual union, the man gives seed to her egg. And then the woman gives back, but it's only the woman will give back unless the man gives first. And that's why it's very important for the man to understand, listening to this podcast, that you must initiate the giving. I know in 2025, they make it seem like it's got to be 50-50. Well, if she's not giving half, I ain't going to worry about it. Listen, dude, you got to give first. You kick it off, like in a football game. The coin toss, she is receiving. Okay, she won the coin toss to receive the ball first. So what do you need to do? You need to kick it off to her. Okay, and that's just how the structure is. I didn't make it up. Yeah, I did. So let's keep it rolling, right? So the leader, man, husband, looks after his house, his dwelling. Because remember, an ahab is the ba, and that represents house or tabernacle, tent. The man will look after his house. He will cultivate his lawn or his garden. He will clean up, be tidy, keep the cleanliness, and he won't just be sitting around looking around with a beer in his hand, some drink in his hand, some hardcore liquor, looking at the football game all day, and the whole house is trash. No, he looks after his house because that house is a representative of who he is. Very important. His dwelling, because that's what house is, also dwelling. So the leader, the man, husband, looks after his house or dwelling. You got to protect this house, fellas, right? Like Under Armour. We got to protect this house. So, next one, ready? The leader or man, husband, gives to his house. He's got to pay the bills. That's what it sounds like to me. Pay the bills. Got to pay the bills. Yourself under the stress and hardship of having to provide for the house, look after the house, giving to the house like that while you're breaking yourself physically, making yourself sick, working at a job that doesn't give a hoot about you, and they're not looking after you and they don't love you according to this definition. So even finding ways to cut corners, to reduce costs, to reduce having to pay bills, that is definitely giving to the house. Okay, and the last one would be strength of the family. Okay, that is what ahab is. It's the strength. Love is the strength of the family. It's the strength of the household. Okay, and that's the bond that keeps family, that keeps the home intact, is love, because it's strength. The man, he helps keep the family. He's that strength. That all, which is in ahab, that all is the strength of the ba, which is family. That all gives to that family, that ba, that house, right? And he's the strength of that house. Or even if you look at it in a marital context, the husband is the strength to that wife. Physically, you can look at it, and that's the number one way you can look at it physically, you know. So even just in certain emotional contexts as well, even though a lot of people like to debate that, oh, well, ladies, they're stronger than males, they're stronger than guys. Yeah, in certain aspects, but overall, the strength really is in that man. The woman, she is designed to tolerate certain things like childbirth, but it's that man that is the strength. And that's why it's very important for him to know when to utilize it, know when to channel it, and channel it for the reasons and not for the wrong. So all these letters added together in a ha, when you got the all and the ha and the ba, it adds up to 8, which is the letter kat. Okay. This means gate, door, or entrance. The number 8 also represents new beginnings. How about that? And that's what happens too when the all gives to the ba, like the husband gives to the wife, like in a sexual reproductive context, happens. A new beginning happens. Child happens. Birth happens. New life. New beginning. So, also, ahaba in Strong's H160 means love too. If you add the ahaba letters, it equals or equates to number 13, which the word one in Hebrew letters equals 13 as well. So you got 1 plus 8 plus 4, that equals 13. Okay, so and that's what 13 means, to be whole, it means to be one. And when you place the ha at the end of a ha ba, like that, right? Ha ba, a hav, it becomes feminine, meaning it becomes fruitful and productive, like I said. So, with that being said, that was a good lesson to discuss with you all today on the facts of light, and it is more to come if you guys would just continue to tune in and just hang out and learn a thing or two with me. I am your host, Zadak Malak, signing off with peace, love, and joy. Thank you, and have a Baruch rest of your day. Shalom. This is Z-Man signing off from the Facts of Light. Tune in next time, same channel, and remember, X always marks the spot.